Assalamu alaikum. How are you, students? Hope that you are well by the grace of Almighty Allah. I am also well for His grace. For the long time, I am appear here to hold an important class on English second paper. You know that especially I am taking the class in the content. So I hope that today you stay with me and you stay with me in a long time in our classes. At first, I want to show you some slides, and you think that what you can see in the screen, and you at first imagine what you think. And here, I will only just a discussion, and I will show you just only the image. Please show at first the image, and you think what you will see in the screen, and tell me in your way. Here, I will also show. Inform you that you also connected me in our YouTube, and you comments me if you have not unable to understand any topics or any information. Please know me as soon as possible. So what can you see in the picture? Please inform me. What can you see? Yes, we can see that there are a woman, they are working, and a teacher are reading in their classrooms. So what is this? Yes, it is a working woman. And the second picture is the reading in the classroom, and the students will learn attentively what the teacher says. Now we can see the another image. Here, what can we see? In the second screen or the second image, we can see that a row of a bicycle they are riding at the side of a road, and another picture is showing a group of students are running towards their homes. So, what are the picture indicate? The picture indicate that riding on bicycle, and the second picture is the running. So I think that you already imagine that our today's lesson is, yes, our today's lesson is verb. So at the end of the lesson, the students able to learn. At the end of the lesson, the students able to learn. Number one, what is verbs? Number two, how many kinds of verbs? Number three, is classification, and number four, describe it example with uses. So now at the beginning of our topics, we will discuss in what is verbs, or the definition of verbs and its types. Verbs. Now, my dear students, please listen to me, and I hope that you will already manage your pen and paper, and you have to written some keynotes. If you not listen or carefully, then you will be definitely missed the classes, and it's very important. A verb is a word or a combination of words that indicates action or a state of being or a condition. I again say that a verb is a word or a combination of words that indicates action or a state of being or a condition. A verb is a part of a sentence that tells us what the subject performs. Verbs are the head of an English sentence. This is the important. Verbs are the heads of an English sentence. Yes, you cannot make any sentence without verb. And this reason, verb is called the main of a sentence, or the head of a sentence is a verb. So we can again say that a verb is doing a work. Something we do, and it's called a verb. If we give them some example, then we say that nobody works in the morning, and it's an usual action. That means nobody works in the morning, a usual action that is usual happened. Number two, Zihat is going to school. Zihat is going to school. A condition of action. It's a condition of action. Yes. Number 3. Rafiq does not like to work. Rafiq doesn't like to work. A negative action. It's a negative action sentence. Number 4. Hena is a good girl. Hena is a good girl. A state of being. A state of being. Hena is a good girl. It's a state of being. So we can say that verbs are called related to a lot of the other factors like the subject, the person, the number, tense, moods, voice, etc. So I again told you that a verb are related to a lot of the other factors like the subject, the person, the number, tense, moods, voice, etc. My dear students, I think that you will note it or the screen, and if you have any obligation, please inform me as soon as possible. So we can see the another basic form of verbs. The basic form of verbs is there are the 6 basic form of verbs. This is the important for you. There are the 6 basic forms of verbs. These forms are as follows. Basic form, children play in the field. The basic form, the first example is children play in the field. Number 2, infinitive, tells them not to play. Number 2, infinitive, tells them not to play. I just already here only give them the example, but I discussed it, narrate in our next slide. Till then you have to wait. But here I only give you an example. Infinitive, tell them not to play. Infinitive, tell them not to play. 2 plus verb is called an infinitive. 2 plus verb is called an infinitive. Past tense, they played football yesterday. This is in past tense. They played football yesterday. Past participle, I have eaten a burger. I have eaten a burger. Present participles, I saw them playing with him today. I saw him play with him today. Gerund, swimming is the best exercise. Gerund, swimming, gerund is consists of the verb plus ing. Verb plus ing is consisting of gerund. Here I give you an example. Swimming is the best exercise. We can say another say that riding is the also a good exercise. Now we can see the different types of verbs. Here we can see the different types of verbs. Plus, my dears, you can note it the screen very carefully, and I suggested you that you must be written on these types of the verbs. The number 1, we can say that the different types of verbs here are included here. Number 1, the finite verb. This is the very important verbs for you. Number 1, the finite verb. Number 2, the non-finite verbs. Number 3, the action verbs. Number 4, linking verbs. Number 5, auxiliary verbs. And the last of all, the verbs of the modal verbs finite. Here are the various types of verbs. You can note it on the screen that the finite verbs, non-finite verbs, action verbs, linking verbs, auxiliary verbs, and the last of all, the modal verbs finite. Now, I describe all kinds of verbs in brief, and I hope that you will note it in our today's classes. So at first we can see the finite verb. What is the finite verb? Yes, finite verbs are the actual verbs which are called the root of sentence. Yes, finite verb is called the root of a sentence. You cannot find any sentence without the finite verb. So finite verb is very important. It is a form of a verb that is performed by or refers to a subject and uses one of the 12 forms of tense and the changes according to the number, person or the subject. I again told you that finite verbs are actual verbs which are called the root of sentence. It is a form of a verb that is performed by or that refers to a subject and uses one of the 12 forms of tense. 12 forms of tense that are uses, but you cannot use any tense without the finite verbs, and changes according to the number, person of the subject. So we can give them some example here. Nubayt went to school. Here, Nubayt subject. Perform of the action. Went is an finite verb because Nubayt went to school. This sentence Nubayt expresses full ways. Expresses full ways. Nubayt performed the action. In the past, the information is event day only by the verbs went. I again told you that perform the action. In the past, this information is evident only by the verbs went. Jahid play football. Another example, he is playing for Bangladesh. He is playing. Playing means continuous. Jahid plays football. It's a present indefinite. But the second sentence is Jahid is playing for Bangladesh. Playing isn't continuous. He is one of the best player. Here, the verb is directly refers to the subject itself. Now we can see the another slides, non-finite verbs. What is non-finite verbs? Non-finite verbs are not the actual verbs. They do not work as a verb in the sentence, rather they work as a noun, adjective, adverbs, etc. I again told you that non-finite verbs are not an actual verbs. They do not work as verbs in the sentence, rather they work as a noun, adjective or adverb, etc. Non-finite verbs do not change according to numbers, person of the subject, because these verbs, also called verbals, do not have any direct relation to the subject. Sometimes they become the subject themselves. The forms of non-finite verbs are infinitive, gerund, and participle. Participle become finite verbs when they take the auxiliary verb. They take the auxiliary verb. So each verb, I give them some example that you can understand easily and quickly. Nubayt went to abroad to play. That means there's an infinitive. So what is infinitive? Infinitive is verb that you use to plus verb. Playing cricket is his only job. The present participle. Playing cricket is his only job. It's the present participle. And number third, I haven't broken bat. The past participle. I haven't broken. Break, broke, broken. I haven't broken bat. This is a past participle. And last of all, walking is a good habit. It's a gerund because it's consisting of, at the beginning of verb is ing, and it's called the sentence which is consisted of verb and the consistent of ing is called in zirant. Here we can see that walking is a good habit. So we can tell here that the another kinds of verb, that intransitive verbs do not act upon the anything. They may be the followed by an adjective, adverb, preposition, or another part of speech. Example: she smiles. She smiles. The verb smiles cannot have the any object, since the action of the smiles does not fall upon anything or anyone. She smiles. I woke up at 6 a.m. No object is needed for this verb. No object is needed for those of this verb. So we can say that another verb and is an action verb. Action verb. Action verb indicates what the subject of a sentence performs. Action verbs can make the listener, reader feels emotions she sends most vividly and accurately. Action verbs can be transitive or intransitive. Yes, action verb can be transitive or intransitive. Transitive verb must have a direct object. Yes, I again told you that the transitive verb must have a direct object. A transitive verb demands something or someone to be acted upon. Yes, I give you another example here, that please my students you can note it here. I painted the car. I painted the car. The verbs paint demands an object to painted, to be painted. The verb painted demands an object to be painted. Hena is reading the newspaper. Hena is reading the newspaper. The verbs read asked the question, what is she reading? The answer is the object. The answer is the object. I again told you that Hannah is reading newspaper. The verbs read asked the question, what is she reading? What is she reading? The answer is the object. So now I discuss about the linking verbs. What do you mean or what you think about a linking verbs? A linking verbs adds details about the subject of a sentence in its the simplest forms. It's connected the subject and the complement. That is the word, the flow, the linking verbs. It creates a link between them instead of showing action. Yes, instead of showing action. Often, what is on each side of a linking verb is equivalent. The complement refines or restrains the subject. Generally, linking verbs are called the be verb. It's very important for you. Generally, linking verb is called in be verb, which are and, is, are, was, were, and so on. You have find in a linking verb. Generally, linking verb is called and be verb. However, there are some other verbs which can work as linking verbs. These verbs are act, fill, remain, appear, become, seem, smell, sound, grow, look, prove, stay, states, trun. So I think that you have a pen and pencil and you noted some important verbs that I given in the screen. Please write as soon as possible. Some verbs in this list can also be the action verb. To figure out if they are the linking verb, you should try replacing them with forms of be verbs. If the chain sentence makes sense, the verb is a linking verb. Yes, I again told you that some verbs in this list can also be the action verbs. You can figure out of their linking verbs. You should try replacing them with forms of the be verbs. If the chain sentence makes sentence, the verb is a linking verb. So example here that she appears ready for game. She appears ready for game. That means she is preparing to doing his games. She appears ready for the games. She is ready for the game. That means is. The food seems delicious. The food seems delicious. The food seems delicious. You look happy. You look happy. You look happy. That means you are happy. Are is the keywords here. Are. Yes, this is the another important kinds of verbs, and it's an auxiliary verbs. It's an auxiliary verbs. So dears, what is auxiliary verb? Yes, auxiliary verbs are also called and helping verbs. Auxiliary verbs are called and helping verbs. Yes. Auxiliary verb is called the helping verbs. And auxiliary verbs extended the main verbs by helping to show the time, tense, and possibility. I again told you that an auxiliary verbs extended the main verbs by helping to show the time, tense, and possibility. By auxiliary verb are be verb, have, and to do. They are used in the continuous or the progressive. They are used, I again told you that this is the most important here. They are used in the continuous, that means progressive and perfect tense. Linking verbs work as the main verbs in the sentence. Yes, linking verb are used or work as the main verb in the sentence. But auxiliary verb help the main verb. I again told you that linking verb work as a main verb or a principal verb in the sentence, but auxiliary verb help the main verb. Do it an auxiliary verb that is used to ask a question, to express the negation, or to provide the emphasis and more. Example here I noted that Nubaid is going to school. Nubaid is going to school. They are walking in the park. They are walking in the park. I have seen a movie. I have seen a movie. Do you drink tea? Do you drink tea? Don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. Please do submit your assignment. Please do submit your assignment. My dears, we can turn down another verbs and it's and the modal verbs. Yes, modal verbs. A modal verbs, a modal verbs is a kind of an auxiliary verb. A modal verb is a kind of auxiliary verb. It assists the main verb to indicate the possibility, potentially, ability, permission, expression, and obligation. A modal verb is a kind of an auxiliary verb. It assists the main verb to indicate the possibility, potentiality, ability, permission, exception, and obligation. The modal verbs are can, could, must, may, might, ought to, shall, should, will, would. Now I again told you that the modal verbs are can, could, must, may, might, ought to, shall, should, will, and would. And you find there are many examples of a modal auxiliary verb. I only just give here some example here. Example, I may want to talk to you again. I may want to talk to you again. That means I want to talk you again. I may want to talk to you again. Second, you must play their best game to win. They must play their best game to win. Second, she should call him. She should call him. She should call him. I will go there. I will go there. I will go there. I will go there. My dears, I hope that you noted some important points. If anyone can miss these classes, you can also connect with me as in our YouTube and Facebook, and you also connected us in directly phone calls, or you can send me an email. Here is just in minutes. I think that you have to written some important words. Homework to all. Now make a list and give them some example about verbs. Make a list and give them some example about verbs. Make a list and give them some example about various kinds of verbs. Thanks to all to stay with me. Last of all, all of you suggested that in the epidemic there you cannot go your home to and fro. If you have no work, you must be stay at home, and if you have no work, you will stay at home. I think that you will doing our homework that are given today, and if you stay at home, this time you will saves your family, saves your country, and above all your neighbors. So last of all, I suggest you, if you have any obligation or any disturbance in your society, please inform at first your parents and the superior that you have. you cannot take any decision that harmful for you, because you are a so tender age. Your mental growth is not the proper way. So if you take any hard decision, at first you have to share your parents, your bosom friends that give you a good advice, not to do any work that bring up and pressure on your family, on your society. So thanks to all, and so I thanks all of you, and you will be happy in our next classes. For the beginning of my classes, I already say you that you will stay at home and you will take your study properly. Last of all, I thanks to all and saying that Allah Hafiz, Assalamu Alaikum.